Hey everyone, it's Paul. We are one more week into this debacle, the immigration enforcement action and the militarization of Los Angeles. And we are starting to talk about some strategies of how to keep this community together long term. This is something that appears to not be going away. After Trump got pissed off when 5 million of us marched last week, he's doubling down this week. And we are seeing enforcement actions happening all over the place. In fact, just a couple blocks from our house this week on Wednesday. So we have got to talk about sane things we can do as a community to keep our heads low and to keep our houses together. I want to thank you for taking time to watch this today, and also want to ask you to check out our free Substack after the end of this video, where we have links to some actual direct actions you can take to help protect your neighbors. The traditional support systems are straining under this load, and we are losing funding. So we're looking for ways that we can engage the community to support each other, neighbors, buildings, neighborhoods, so that we have a way to address this, to keep our heads low, keep ourselves safe. We're dealing with a lawless government, yet we are bound by laws that can get us in trouble if we're not careful. So we need to make sure that everything we do is compliant and everything that we do meets the needs of the moment. On January 6th this year, I started a new short-term gig with the Pico Union Project, and that was the day before the fire started here in Eaton Canyon next to our house and in the Palisades. By the end of that month, the demand for food supplies in the Pico Union neighborhood increased by about 40%. Now, Pico Union is a long way from either fire, but it was indirectly affected because people lost their incomes. We are seeing this happen again. They never recovered. Those houses are years from being rebuilt. So Pico Union was still in distress when I left there in March. And now this is happening, and we are seeing an even broader effect on people's income. So one of the things we've talked about doing is methods for income replacement. It is not safe for people who are in danger of being swept to use public transportation right now. It's not safe for them to go to school, not safe for them to go to work, not safe for them to go to church, not safe for them to go to the grocery store. Already this year, some businesses in LA are reporting profits down to 15% of normal. Now, we know the impact of deporting people. For every 1 million people who are deported, another 88,000 people lose their jobs. These hit industries that are core to California's economy very hard. 45% of agricultural workers are undocumented. 33% of domestic workers are immigrants. These are communities that we rely on to keep our city going and keep our economy going, and they're being hit very hard right now. Remember that undocumented workers pay millions of dollars in taxes that they don't have access to. So what can employers do? The first thing that comes to mind is wage replacement. Just straight up continue paying the people who work for you who are not able to come into work because it's not safe. Another way you could approach that is to give them leave, paid leave, while they get their paperwork in order. And you can also engage with other businesses, maybe employees, for a wage replacement pool to help your undocumented employees keep their heads above water while we sort these things out. On February 28th of this year, Homeland Security conducted an enforcement action 1 block from the Pico Union Project. This created an incredible disruption in the day. Fridays traditionally are the Vida Sana Day, so we have 300 people, a couple hundred families, the line going around the block waiting for the doors to open up. And a block away, 100 or more masked, armed agents started streaming the streets. This put our neighborhood immediately in danger, and we had to think quickly about what we could do. One of the first responses we had was, of course, to move everybody inside. We've got a huge sanctuary at Pico Union Project. So we moved all 300 people inside, and we closed the doors. We went out and bought private property signs and posted them all around the building and the parking lot so that agents knew that when the doors were closed, they were not welcome or able to come in. The next time we opened for produce distribution, the next Friday, people started asking if they could bring extra things home for their neighbors who were too afraid to come. This is something that we saw as obvious, and it's the beginning of an idea that can be supported by you and can be supported by neighborhoods fairly simply. One simple thing we can do is to shop for each other. We can create a grocery list, go to Costco, order in from Instacart, have a safe distribution space where people can gather to get their food, and do this as a neighborhood or building project, right? So talk with all of your neighbors. Make sure that everybody has what they need right now. This is something we can do that's really straightforward and simple. It's not charity, this is mutual aid, and this is how we survive. Another thing we can do is to create support networks for families. Now, there are a lot of legal ins and outs in this, and there are some documents to fill out in order to do this right, but the ideas are fairly straightforward. There's a chance at any point in any day that somebody's parent is going to get swept. So kids need to know, they need to have a safe place to go if they should come home and their parent's not there. We need to have ways to communicate with each other in case there's disruptions, in case somebody's kid needs to be picked up from school, in case an elder needs to be taken care of. All sorts of things that can happen. There are caregiver affidavits, there are legal documents you can sign. Please look into this and take a little time. You can look at our Substack, and I've also loaded a lot of this information into the Immigration Hub at secondgrace.la, also a free resource for you. So taking care of each other's families right now is key to keeping communities together. And remember, regardless of anyone's immigration status, they still have rights. They have the right to remain silent, the right to refuse entry without a judicial warrant. They have a right to an attorney. ICE is not the regular police, and they need a signed judicial warrant in order to enter your property. We've done all of this before, and we can do this again. Systems of oppression require us to be afraid, to be silent, to be alone. We refuse. Gather together, act as one, support each other. This community can survive this, and we will win. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe and spread the word. Leave your comments or questions below, and stay strong, stay united.